I have never seen so many nearly new limited edition Porsches at any Barrett-Jackson auction. Here's a 2025 911 GT3 RS with the Weissach package. There's a couple of them here. And this is quite special, the 2024 911 ST. They only made 1,963 of these to commemorate the year the 911 was introduced. They all have this beautiful heritage interior in either cognac or black with silver stitching, the Ceramica, hollow spoke wheels, and they have the GT3 power plant, 520 horsepower with 6-speed manual transmissions. This car was just south of $400,000 sticker price, but they were long sold out before you could even think of getting one. So today they sell for well over $500,000. And I'm really surprised to see this here. Earlier this year, Porsche Club of America members entered a lottery to be able to buy one of the 70th anniversary Porsche Club Coupes. They all have Solar Blue Metallic, a very unique color to this car, special pinstriping and wheel treatments, and a unique plaid interior. Only 70 of these are built. You couldn't go to your dealer and get one. You had to win the lottery. And here's one for sale just a couple of months out of the wrapper. Precious Porsches indeed.
The track-focused 911. This is not really made for the streets, even though it is street legal. This is one of the cars where you want to just completely dominate on the track. And having the Weissach package takes it to a more extreme level with the aerodynamics. Hence the giant wing on the back with the Weissach script and including their test track, because that is where Porsche has their testing facilities there in Weissach. You can see the carbon fiber hood there, and the Porsche logo is just a sticker, just to save weight. The aerodynamics on this thing pretty wild. The red wheels, I like that nice touch with the center lock, quick removable wheels. If you're going to take this thing to the track and want to change the tires quickly, but this thing is really incredible performance.
And Tyler, this is not turbocharged, correct?
No, it is a Metzger engine and flat six like all Porsches, but they did not need to turbocharge it to produce a pretty incredible horsepower on this thing. 518 horsepower out of the 4-liter engine.
What's amazing to me is the evolution of the 911 body. You think about when it first came out in 1963 with those much taller, more upright fenders, and now where it's evolved to, and look at this, at $350,000, it is the #1 sale so far today. Of course, we still have a few others to cross the block that could bump it off, but this is big bucks.
And this is well north of its MSRP, as we'll see in a theme with all of these special edition Porsches, because you can't just walk into the showroom and buy one. You have to be on a special list to get one, and then it's an instant return on investment if you wanted to move it along. This one, we're probably getting close to $100,000 over its MSRP, maybe?
Let's get 7,837 miles showing, so it's had some use. Very careful use. I see no dings or scratches.
Well, this Weissach package is all about lightening it, as you were mentioning, Tyler. Every single thing you can do, the carbon fiber to make it lighter. Taking that hood ornament and taking it off and making it just an emblem. Well, there you have it, $365,000 for a 2025 Porsche 911 GT3, the RS Weissach edition. And guess what? We've got another one that's going to be crossing the block pretty soon. We'll see where that goes.
This is a really, really big deal. They only made 1,963 of the 911 ST because 1963 was the first year of the 911. So gone are all the wings and the crazy body kit that we saw with the GT3 RSs. But what remains is that GT3 RS engine, the 4-liter, naturally aspirated, over 500 horsepower in the back. But with this one, old school manual transmission inside and a vintage interior. So to 911 enthusiasts, to have that vintage look, that vintage analog driving experience with the manual transmission, this is a hot car, and it only has 45 actual miles on the odometer. Look at the interior here, sort of that heritage look. You can see the gold 911 logo and that 6-speed manual transmission, much coveted.
I'll tell you what, the Porsche market is on fire today here at Barrett-Jackson. This immediately shot to $500,000. Right now it's bid at $570,000. As you mentioned, this is the 60th anniversary edition for the Porsche 911, and they only made 1,963 of these.
So on those GT3 RSs, there's the giant wing. They've replaced all of that and just make it all flush. And this is sort of a vintage style mesh grille, once again with that gold 911 ST badging to make it look vintage. Kind of Arctic white wheels that are beautiful, but that center lock style that we saw on the GT3s. Carbon fiber buckets as well. $580,000 the current bid. Well north of $500,000, and I think well north of its original MSRP.
And this one makes it 518 horsepower the old-fashioned way. No turbos here. All natural. That's with good engineering in the intake and exhaust tracks, cam timing. All that makes 518 horsepower without a turbo.
Well, you know what I really appreciate on this Porsche is almost the subtlety of the design, because those other ones, like you said, they've got the big wing hanging off the back. They're bragging a lot. This one is saying, I have everything. I have the performance. I am one of the lightest 992 generations Porsches ever made. And I go fast, and I don't have to brag about it.
Less is more.
I agree, and Porsche purists, they love that analog manual transmission, and it's pretty rare nowadays when they use their GT engine with the manual transmission. Last time, the 911R, that's a big collectible.
$605,000, and guess what? That is just barely breaking into our top 5 of the day. $605,000 for that spectacular 2024 Porsche 911 ST.
Lot number 762 will be next. Description changed since your catalog. Here's an updated description on a 2026 Porsche 911 Carrera T Club Coupe. Here's one that is powered by that 3-liter twin-turbo flat-6 motor, 388 horsepower, 6,500 RPM, 331 foot-pounds of torque, 6-speed manual transmission. Here's one of 70 produced to commemorate the 70 years of the Porsche Club. 21 actual miles.
I mean, I'd had to get down, what are you paying? Half of the dollar, don't have to get down 70, get $300,000, and $300,000, but to get down 70, get 50, 75, and 75, 85, 85, 85, 100, and 85, 100, $100,000, but to get down 111, but to get down 125, 125, 150, $150,000, but to get down $150, but to get down 40, 50, 150, 60, 70, 170, 80, $180,000, but to get down 1, to get down 80, 1, to get down 80, 1, to get down $80,000, 90, now 2, and 2, 2, 2, and 2, 2, 2, and 225, and 210, 20, and 220, 30, and 230, 40, and $240,000, and $240,000, but to get down 240, 40, 40, and $240,000, and $240,000, but to get down 240, and $240,000, $50,000, and 245, 50, 60, and 260, and now 70, and Tanner, go ahead at $70,000.
Performance figures include 0 to 60 in 4.3, a top speed of 183 miles per hour, a 10mm lower sport suspension. It has the Porsche torque vectoring, and it is finished in the beautiful shoulder blue.
93, I'd had to get down 333, and 333 on it, but to get down 333, and $300,000 down, but to get down $300,000 down, but to get down 300 is bid, and 310, and 310 on TV. I'd had to get down 310, and $310,000 down, but to get down 10, and $310,000, and 3 to get down 10, to get down 10, to get down $10 down, you want 10, 10, 10, and $310,000. How you get along? I'd had to get down 310, and 310, and 310, and 310, and Cody's in. You want to be in 20, and 320, and 320, and 320, and $320,000 down, but to get down, buddy, Von have had to get all through, all done, and $320,000 down, but to get down 10, to get down 20, 10, to get down 20, 20, 20 on its way. I'd had 15, and now 20, and 320 and a half. Sold for $315,000, Cody.